Now, I want to share with you a story, and the theme of the story is how you can focus on serving and how that would lead to sales versus being pushy, which usually push people away from you and hinder your sales opportunities in the long term. A couple of years ago, I had a client. She was, at that time, she was a potential client. She got onto a sales call with me, and we had a powerful session. She was in agreement with everything that I shared, the vision, how I can help her. She was able to share her goals, her dreams, the challenges that she was experiencing. Now, the obstacle that stopped her from moving forward right away was she needed to speak to her husband. Now, in the traditional sales training, you'll find there's tactics on how to overcome the spouse objection and all these strategies that people use. Now, I believe that's not necessary when you're showing up authentically in your sales process. So a couple of things I did after she shared that is, yeah, I appreciate that you need to speak to your husband about making this decision. And I asked her, hey, do you feel confident that you can explain to him the vision that you have for your life and how working with me in my program will help you? She said, really, I'm not really that sure. Then I asked, could I offer a few suggestions on how you can have that conversation that would make it a little bit more powerful for you? She was open to that. So there's 3 things I shared with her that help her have that conversation in a powerful way, but also set her up for success long term. The first thing is share with your husband or your partner the dreams, the goals, the desires that you have for yourself and for your business. Make sure they're in alignment with those dreams and they're aware of what you're thinking, right? And also share the dreams that how your dreams will impact the family. The second is the impact, right? How would your dreams, your goals will impact your family, but also how it would impact you as you get closer to your goals. And then the third thing is share what success would look like. Most times our partners or the person we need to consult with, they want to understand, okay, how would I know if this works or not? And share with them how success would look like. Now, she did all of that, came back to the follow-up call. And that's another thing I'll share with you. Always book a follow-up call because selling authentically is about continuing the conversation. Now, she came back to the follow-up call and she said, no, my husband decided we're not going to be able to move forward at this time. Again, no pushing, no resistance from me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you had that conversation. Hey, are you open to some tips on how you can continue on until you're able to get support? So I shared with her some ideas on how she can get more clarity around her goals and some steps she can take to implement before getting more invested in support. Guess what happened? 9 months later, she reached out. Hey, I would love to get started. Why? Her husband saw her doing the work. We stayed in contact via email. We've had some chats. And when she was ready to move forward in her timing, she came back to me because we've developed that relationship. I showed up in a way that was aligned with my values and in a way to support her. So it made natural sense. So why not go back to Colin and that program we talked about versus anything else you may have noticed over the last 9 months. So that's just an example of how showing up authentically in your sales conversations could lead to a consistent flow of sales, not only short term, but long term.